Alright, here we go. Another 10 list I told you I'd get out to you. This time, everyone, this is affordable. These are special, as always. If I put them in my collection, you know that. If I have full bottles, you know what the deal is. Always look for that in your reviewers, people that actually buy the bottles of their perfumes. Buy, not get. Anyways, if anyone keeps up on my channel or knows, I know about the limitations on oak moss. Recently, they're limited it to a small finite amount. So I, in the past 8 months, have been chasing down this ingredient like crazy in all the old classics. Now I'm here to share with you my findings. These are just bomb, 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 bomb. I'm about to lay a lot of bombs on this video. Perfumes. These are just classics that other reviewers have said about. I went and checked it out. I know of a perfume place here that I have that has a whole wall of vintage colognes. They know what I love. They know everything about me. The guy is giving me one of the best gems that I'll let you know about here in this channel. But these are just the vintage formulations for the most part. 2 I'll show you that aren't vintage, that are dirt cheap, that are just classic men colognes. Ladies, if you're hanging around, these are colognes for your guy. For the situations of these, this is just raw, classic 80s men smelling oak moss, patchouli, vetiver. For the most part, that's all these. I have one that cleans it up really good and another that sweetens it, everything up that's totally different. But these are just the man of men cologne, the dressed up men. I grew up in a casino town. Almost every dealer, almost every guy working in that casino had a base layer of a patchouli and oak moss or a patchouli and vetiver. That's the kind of stuff I'm showing here in their formulations, telling you to go get. That's what this is about. Let's get to this. First and foremost, we're gonna go dark. Now in its vintage formulation, this predates Fahrenheit, and this on the top, you spray this on. I sprayed the vintage on. I'm like, oh my goodness. The people in the shop couldn't believe I was drawn to this thing, but oh man, was I drawn to this thing. It's like a motor oil petrol, just meanness against a classic guy's fragrance. The oak moss, the patchouli, oriental spices. This thing is like, it is an oriental. It's it's not Bruce Lee, it's more Asian street gang. This is when you're putting on the black leather jacket and going out, just roughing it up with the guy's scent. It's got all that on the top. It's gonna stay with you. Modern formulation. It's got some of those nuances, but nothing like the vintage. If you can find a, I believe a pre-2007, I looked up all the information, that's what I have, bottle of Derrick. Oh man, this is up my alley. Balenciaga for Homme in an EDT. All right, I don't know if you guys watch early grade. You should. If you don't, mostly classic heavy scents like I'm talking about here. The next 2, straight from him. He did a review. I pressed buy. I'm in love. I'm scared to put this one up here. This is going to be gone. That's not what it's about. We're about sharing here. Balenciaga. It's 4 ml bottle. You can buy the whole bottles on eBay and whatnot. I wouldn't mess with. They're expensive. These, they must have had an overstock of them. Fragrance Net still has them. Amazon has them for 13. Fragrance Nets with the coupon, you can get them for under $9. This is one to have in your collection, just to get your nose on a classic. This, it's got all the elements, but it's luxury in a bottle. It's all those elements, guy elements in a bottle. It's got the patchouli and oak moss, but it's buried underneath honey, vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, labdanum's in there. It's luxury. You need a tuxedo to pull this one off. It's fancy. It projects. This little thing projects like crazy. This is the cleanest bunch of the fragrances I'm showing. Not soapy, but a gentleman's mature cleanliness. Like I said, that tuxedo dressed up, the kind of clean I like. No soap, all just clean, luxury, crisp, the right sweetness, the right dirtiness. It's the composition is divine. It doesn't go either way at all. It's just in the middle with the clean, just fresh, dressed up feel for a man's fragrance. This is something you got to get in your collection. Before I post this video, I'll probably go buy a couple more. They're only 4 ml, so I don't feel guilty about buying a couple ml or more. Having 3 of them. I'm already halfway through this. And my last 1 ml I'll keep for reference, just to have. And that's what I'm telling you guys, get one for reference. Lapidus pour Homme, an eau de toilette. All right, this was a mix between either early Greek or Bangkok Hound. He's another, both of those guys, just men's scents. Lapidus, the Beast. This is a beast. This is modern formulation. So this is one of the ones I said, modern formulation, dirt cheap, Amazon, Fragrance Net. This has got to be one of the original tobacco vanillas. It's kind of hard to pull that scent out straight up like you would have Herod, Parfums de Marly, Tobacco Vanille, Tom Ford. But the notes are in there, tobacco vanilla, patchouli oak moss. So it adds tobacco vanilla to that classic 80s man scent, the oak moss lay down, the acetone, the just that scent. Very familiar scent. You'll know it when it hits you. Again, I don't see this being around that long. Have it now. L'Aceton au revoir. Au revoir. Eau de toilette. This is not my first bottle, probably third, fourth. All right, my most worn scent through the dark ages, I call it. The dark ages of my perfume wearing. 10 years, I had like 3 scents I'd wear, minus a couple designers I might wear once every other year, once a year. But for the most part, this is like my 3rd or 4th bottle of this. I rotated between this one and the lavender one. Eau de Bois, L'Aceton is all about cypress. The cypress woody note that comes on top. I always mistaked it for cedar. When I bought it, I call it cedar, cypress. I swear there's a cedar note in here too. Against just a beautiful vanilla tonka bean dry down. That's what you get. It's just a straight up well formulated scent by Corinne Debrel. Been on the channel a lot. To me, this is a classic. This so many memory locks with this scent alone. L'Aceton Eau de Bois still available, cheap. To me, it doesn't. So this is the other one I strayed away from. This is the sweet lay down, nice lay down, easy for your man, very mass pleasing, and feels very natural. Biggest juice. Paul Sebastian Cologne for men. Eight ounces. Moving on to the cheapest fragrance I own, courtesy of Daniel San. He talked me into buying this. 20 bucks for 8 ounces or 236 ml splash cologne. This one is perfect for just splashing on in the morning and not caring about it. One of those you just don't care about, put it on. It's light. It does have oak moss, but you really can't tell to the lightest effect. Patchouli, you really can't tell to the lightest effect. And all of its little spices, very light. Can't even overdo it. You can put 2 ml on and you can't overdo it with this thing. And later on in the day, any one of these I talked about you can put on top of and you're fine. So you get 2 colognes there. If you don't want to smell too strong in the morning, most of the mornings I don't. I actually have a collection of morning fragrances like this that I use to just splash on, take the kids to school, get the coffee, just get into work before I, whatever, gym meetings, whatever, before I put on a powerhouse. But any one of these would work on top of this and many others. Just that's what I use this for. Cheapest one I have, about 22 bucks, 8 ounces, 236 ml per ml. Holy moly, cheapest one I have. Homme. Biaggiati and Eau de Toilette. Laura Biaggiati Uomo. Do you guys know this one? This is a vintage version from online somewhere. It's an older. It had oak moss. I wanted to get it because I know it's going to be reformulated. You can't have that heavy dose of oak moss. Again, it's one of the ones I have. They're still available out there. I believe $60 to $70 range. Classic fougere. I like this fougere a lot more than the Rogue one. I bought the Rogue one, but I'd much rather have this. That's why I bought it. It's got all that classic love, master blended composition, stuff you grew up with, just a memory you want locked in your head. Would I say this is the best fougere in my collection? Best classic fougere, I'd say that easily. Unfortunately, the citrus notes are pretty much gone on this. I've talked about that before. L'Occitane Verbena is a pure lemon, or there's bergamot scents. There's basically top heavy scents. You put this on and put the top heavy citrus on if you want it right back into the action on this. It's only going to last 30-45 minutes, at least on my skin. Those citrus, that's how they are. So if you want that classic mix back in, that's what you do for these fragrances. Tell those to the people fighting me up on Instagram. I think they know about aging. I've been doing a lot of study on aging. We'll try to get a special on that. I have some good dialogue with some heavy hitting perfumers about aging perfumes. And there are downfalls, but there's a lot of upside to it. This is just the classic fougere in my collection. Get it while you can in the vintage format with that real dill base layer oak moss love in it. Paco Rabanne Tenere. This is the clean, pleasing one for day office use. This is a vintage version. They are harder to find. They're harder to authenticate because the bottles kind of look the same for the past years. It's not an original. It's the place I know of has dusty shelves. I just know it was from 3 to 7 years ago. No oak moss in this. This is a patchouli and vetiver. The cleanest, easiest, mass-pleasing man scent that I'm suggesting here. Tenere, Paco Rabanne. Good orientals in this one. Very clean. Splash on only on this. Let's display that. So, yeah, just clean, fresh. Again, that fresh clean, not soapy. That fresh, manly clean that you got in those old school perfumes. That's old school eau de toilettes, they call them. And they're more powerful than almost the EDP, more powerful than EDPs of nowadays. I was going to almost say extracts. They're long lasting as the perfumes today. Just classic love. Ungaro III for Homme. Eau de Toilette, Emanuel Ungaro. Well, I guess we're doing this now. This is the lucky one right here. Ungaro, Emanuel Ungaro III pour L'Homme. Man, the perfume place I went to, told them everything I like, everything I love. Didn't have a tester of this one. Only had 3 of these left. I blind bought. I mean, he pushed me into this. I was buying 2 others that were almost same price as this. I think it was $70, $80. Worth every penny spent. Oh my gosh. I blind bought it, took it, went and had a cappuccino. I sprayed 1 spray on there. It was one of those moments like where I'm happy to have this. I can't believe I'm happy to have this. Commenting with a guy on Instagram who loves these things. He's like, oh, I'm glad they got in good hands. Let's sneak this in here. Early Greek, this is for you. There's only 2 of these left. You gave me the spot where to buy this. Go pick it one up. Get it in your collection. I've seen your videos. You will not be displeased with this one. This is badass. This is a badass fragrance. This is... Afterwards, I got home, did research on it. I didn't know nothing about it. I trusted this guy. After I told him I tasted one, I trusted him. He's like, this is the one to buy. They're gonna go quick. This is all we have left. That's all that exists. After that spray, I was gonna go back and buy the 2 others, but I'm like, no, other people deserve to smell these. And when I say worth every penny cent, yeah, I'd easily go buy those just to have them, but it's not what it's about. I want other people to have these in their collection. That's what it's more about to me. It's what this whole journey's been more about to me. So if you can find this in vintage form, oh my goodness, you will not be displeased. Get Home. Scentland has a video on this that very good, describes it very good. He did a good job on this. It has no business being an EDT. This is a powerhouse. People are gonna smell you. This is the man's fragrance where you're still in that tux, but you can handle any situation thrown at you. Let's think Ray Donovan, that kind of person. I picture a Ray Donovan kind of person wearing this. Family man, laid back, easy, but takes care of any situation for anybody. That's the kind of fragrance. I mean, it has so much going on in this. It's dark, it's fresh, it's yummy, it's clean, it's sweet, and it plays all of those together like a ninja really well. This is the Scentland video will do it justice. The stormy scent. My description is a Ray Donovan wearing it. This is a Chuck Norris. Fight Chuck Norris to get this scent. That's the level of this. This is my best vintage I own. Right here, best in this whole category. If I had to take one, this is it. Easy. This is the only one I've even posted on Instagram in this category, just because I'm really not known for these. I might do more, but I save that for what it is. But the vintage one, ladies, if you stuck around this long, your guy is kind of into that. I mean, this is a special present. You get vodka and orange, mahogany and sandalwood. It's got to be one of the first most creative scents that I've seen as far as going through all that I've been through. All those come off, not a straight up vodka, but that vibe, that white, obviously it's, alcohol based, but just that vibe of vodka. I don't know what they use for the note, but it's listed. It's got the oak moss, the patchouli, and the vetiver with those creative notes on top, packed with spices, the oriental and florals. One to seek out. Habit Rouge, dress code 2017. All right, my surprise here. Habit Rouge, dress code 2017, sweetest fragrance that I wear most of. Habit Rouge fans, this one has a chocolate praline note that is divine. Thierry Wussler, the nose behind this, the Guerlain nose that does everything. It has the patchouli and vetiver hidden with the Guerlain, the perfect one with the master blender. The most well blended composition out of all of these, sweetest one out of all of these, most complimented out of all of these. This is probably the most women friendly one that I have. It's just a wonderful take on Habit Rouge, the classic. It's my favorite take on Habit Rouge. Love the bottle design. I thought those are stickers. It's kind of imprinted on there. Just, I think I own 4 Guerlains. I take it serious when I buy one. I think it through. This is one, Habit Rouge 2017. That chocolate praline love against all the masculine notes. Aramis. All right, we're gonna finish this thing off. This is the luxury one. Aramis rocabar. Vintages still are available. I bought a vintage off of eBay just because I know the bottle, it was a full bottle packed. I didn't get the fancy Aramis wrap. That's okay. Ended up getting this for like 70 bucks. What's in this thing is just pure luxury, pure gold. I call this the gold of a men's classic fragrance. Again, Cypress, definitely the star in this one. But the rest of the sky is the Aramis Accord. This is that fresh, clean I've been talking about on steroids. This is the cleanest, most luxurious, freshest of all of them in what I have. This is, you don't want to get dirty. You're dressed up to the nines. This is the fragrance you're gonna have. Clean, sophisticated, standing out like crazy. It's got the nuances of all the guys' cologne, but this just fresh gold on top of all of it. Smells rich, reflects rich, you feel rich in this one. It's dressed up on an evening, a summer evening. You're al fresco, Italian dining. Again, painting another picture of what this thing is. This is what I want to reflect, an airiness with gold. Rocabar, Aramis, vintage version. Again, modern formulation, a lot of it's taken out. Get your hands on that. They're still available if you can. All right, everyone, totally different from the channel. Wanted to show you what I've been stocking up on in the pack so you guys can get on it too. Again, Ifra has limited oak moss. Buy what you can, what you love now. You know, try not to blind buy. A lot of these are dirt cheap. A lot of these vintage formulas companies are just trying to get rid of. And then in the aftermarket, they're exploiting these scents like crazy. That little Balenciaga, if you go look at the prices, the full bottles now, totally blowing up. You can still get those 4 mls, must have been overstocked or whatever. But that'll show you what's gonna happen to all these when the vintages are sold out. Right now, companies are just trying to get rid of them off the shelves so they don't cause rashes or whatever. I was able to hunt these down. I have a couple more on my list. If I might update in some way. I don't know how, try to figure it out. But wanted to share this with you, get this information out there. I'm sharing my journey with you. Again, I'm not in the aftermarket or any of that market. Sharing the best info with you guys, sharing the best fragrances with you guys, as you have with me. Half of these are because of the community. Thank you for that. Anyways, I'm glad this video got done. Peace out. You guys be blessed. Hopefully by next time you see me, I'll have my hair cut.